Good evening. In this little video, I want to illustrate the method of synthetic division of polynomials. Now, this is an adaptation of Horner's method. At least it's my adaptation anyway. Okay, so we work for three examples here. Okay, in the first example, we want to divide x cubed plus 4x squared minus 25x plus 12 by x minus 3. And what we do is along the top here, we write down the coefficients of the dividend. So that's 1, which is the coefficient of x cubed, and then 4, minus 25, and 12. And on the side here, we write down the coefficients of the divisor. 1 for the x, and plus 3 instead of minus 3. The reason for doing that is that all we have to do now is add instead of subtract. So the minus 3 is changed to plus 3. So let's begin. So divide 1 at the top by the divisor 1, and you just get 1. We can now forget about the 1 at the front. Then just multiply 3 by 1, which is 3, and add it onto the 4, which makes 7. Now multiply 3 by 7, which is 21, and add it onto the minus 25, which is minus 4. Now multiply the minus 4 by the multiplier 3, which is minus 12. Added on to 12 here is 0. And so our answer is x squared plus 7x minus 4. Moving on to the next example, we go through a similar procedure. Write down the coefficients of the dividend, which is 6, minus 3, minus 37, and 20. And on the side, the divisor, which is 2, and the plus 5 becomes minus 5. Now here we have to be a little bit more careful. So first of all, we'll divide 6 by 2, which gives 3. Right, and now we have to multiply 3 by minus 5, which is minus 15. Added on to minus 3 is minus 18. But now we have to divide that by 2, and that gives us minus 9. Okay. And now minus 5 times minus 9 is 45. Added on to minus 37 is plus 8, but we have to divide that by 2, so that becomes 4. And finally, we do minus 5 times 4, and add it on to 20, which is 0. And that completes that one. So our answer is 3x squared minus 9x plus 4. Finally, example number 3, and I've included this one to point out a mistake that is often made. Okay, so we've got to divide x cubed plus 4x plus 1 by x minus 2, and go through the same procedure. Write down the coefficients of the dividend, but you've got to be a bit careful here. The coefficient of x cubed is 1. The coefficient of x squared is 0. You must not forget that, otherwise the whole thing will go wrong. And then the coefficient of x is 4, and then the constant term is 1. And from there on, it's pretty much the same as before. On the side, we have the polynomial we're dividing by, so that's 1x, and we have to change the minus 2 into plus 2. Okay, so 1 into 1 goes once. 2 times 1 is 2, added on to 0 is 2. 2 2s is 4, added on to 4 is 8. 8 2s is 16. 16 added on to 1 is 17. So our answer is x squared plus 2x plus 8, and remainder 17. You can always check that that remainder is right by using the old remainder theorem, whereby you substitute 2 for x in the original expression. That would give you 2 cubed, which is 8. 2 4 is 8, which is another 8, makes 16, plus 1, which makes 17. And that brings us to the end. And thank you very much for listening.